Part 2 of Little Red Wolf, Over the River and Through the Woods. Chapter 8. A Touch Like Snow. Falon's feet beat a messy path through the marsh. She knew her father would have followed, in a normal place and time, but she was certain now that this place was beyond his reach. Questions danced through the chambers of her mind, questions of an uncertain fate. The world seemed to shift. There was no path or reason to it all, just a wicked understanding that this place was the way to go. A song from far away filled the air. She heard and hummed along, somehow knowing the tune. Though alone, she felt watched. Company came from the very land with sing-song giggles which circled all around. The ground, the air, the mist are alive. She knows not where she will arrive. Questions, questions, everywhere. But still she runs with dwindling care. The air is white with foggy dew, but on she presses, running through. The voices giggled and faded into the fog. Strange images seemed to be moving just at the edge of her sight. Is this madness? A dream? Or could it be real? Maybe the beasts caught us. Or maybe we fell to our death. Maybe we're ghosts, not knowing we died, wandering the misty marsh, never finding our way out. Questions, questions. Where am I? What is this place? Is this where the fairies live? Are they punishing me for not believing? Questions, questions. Children played somewhere and tittered in her ears. The ghostly image of playful fledglings circled, hands joined, a nursery rhyme on their tongues. Circles, circles here and there, circles, circles everywhere, circles, circles through and through, circles, circles, me and you. A fit of giggles sent them sprawling to the ground, rolling here and there, then jumping up and skipping in all directions. Play with us! Yes, play! I can run faster than you can. Cannot. Can too. Prove it. Soon they were running. Falon's legs carried her faster and faster as the phantom children dared her past her limits. Tears flowed, and she could not see, but she knew they were there. Mirthful energy pulled her on, and the heady rush of endorphins muddled her senses. Ring around the forest, satchel full of moor mist, fairies, fairies, we all fall around. With laughter and tears they all tumbled into piles of wet leaves. Innocent joys piled on top of each other until the yawns began. Falon was breathing so hard she felt the world would spin away. When things began to settle, there was someone else there. A touch like snow caressed her face. Welcome, Selina. I finally have you here. Her voice fell like snowflakes, casting echoes both sharp and delicate. You can stay here with me. You are safe here. Where am I? Where you wanted to be. So I'm nowhere. Only for a moment in time. How long is that moment? As long as you need it to be. She opened her eyes and saw black and white with very little gray. A woman in robes glowed whiter than the mist, shimmering and flowing like an underwater phantom. Are you my fairy godmother? In a sense. Can you see my father home? I can. Thank you. But that does not mean I will. But you will. Will I? I would hope. Why wouldn't you? Because I want something too. A trade? Yes. What can a simple hunter do for her fairy godmother? A hunter can do little, but a maiden can do much. I would rather hunt than mend. Your preference is true, but what I want is a child. A child? Wouldn't it have been better to capture my father for that? I cannot carry a child. My womb has been barren for millennium. But you... Her voice trailed as her fingers wandered over the hunter's female form, Hands slid in a dance of shivers and cold. You who are young and healthy, you could warm my cold heart, and in return I would watch over your family. Your father returns home, your sisters remain healthy and alive. They do not have to suffer as others have. The hands cupped her, chilled her, froze mortal flesh both inside and out. Falon grit her teeth and tried to breathe, but her inner heat was quickly turning to ice. No, but you must, or suffering there will be. No, but you must, or you'll never be free. No, but you must, for dreams to come true. No, but you must, for the cold is in you. Falon clenched her eyes shut and tried to scream. Her blood began to gel and her body cracked as she moved. No! She managed as her throat went numb. Breath slowed to barely a leaky gasp, and pulling it in took all she had. Poor, poor girl, the white woman sighed. So confused you have been of your place in this world. I have offered to show you, but still you deny. A maiden becomes a mother, and then finally a crone. It is as natural as birth, as life, as death. Accepting this would be easy for most, but not you. Not you, so far from home. Away in the woods your end is your own. Falon's core was heavy with ice. The world was slowing, everything stopping bit by bit. The dreadful sleepiness of death in the cold was winning her over. She knew of the danger of sleeping in the snow, but she was losing the battle. Dreams slipped into her mind, and she remembered her pack, her alpha, her wolf with the blue eyes. She wished she could see him as her life slipped away. Even now she swore she could hear him growling, warm breath on her face, power in his teeth and claws. No! Back! Get back! Be gone! No! The scream was not her own, and it faded into nothing. Fire burned on her face and licked her eyes. There was pressure on her chest and a whimper in her ears. A surge of breath and pain fractured the ice in her veins. She cried out. Anguish and agony afflicted arteries and air. Eyes opened, but she could not see. Darkness was all around. The skin felt only pain, and cold caressed by a touch of dancing heat. Large arms lifted the frosted form. A pressure like a muscular blanket held her close. There was a nuzzle on her face by something like a snout. Gentle concern like a lover's touch. She leaned into a living wall. The safe warmth of fur hurt her cold-drenched body, but she felt safety in this pain. It was moments before she drifted to sleep, but this time there was a measure of trust.